So we are about to start the enumeration process. What language will you prefer? My name is Lily. I'm working with National Population Commission and I am assigned to work in this area in the ongoing National Population and Housing Census.
Population and Housing Census refers to the process of collecting, collating, compiling, evaluating, analyzing and publishing or otherwise disseminating demographic, economic and social data pertaining to all persons and housing units in a country at a specified time at the smallest geographical level in a well-delimited part of a country. Census taking is a principal activity of the National Population Commission, and the first attempt in conducting census was in 1866 in the then Lagos colony and environs. The last Nigerian census was held in 2006, which is 17 years ago. However, there are differences with previous censuses. It is fully digital. It includes houses. It is green and is transformative in many ways. Did you know Population and Housing Census is a process of collecting, collating, compiling, evaluating, analyzing and publishing or otherwise disseminating demographic, economic and social data pertaining to all persons and housing units in a country at a specified time at the smallest geographical level in a well-delimited part of a country. The methodology for the 2023 Population and Housing Census is de facto with the use of Personal Digital Assistant (PDA), an electronic data collection device. Questions to be canvassed in the 2023 Population and Housing Census will include the following demographic socioeconomic characteristics: name, date of birth, place of birth, state of origin, birth registration, literacy, educational attainment, work status, income, marital status, number of children, fertility and child survival, mortality, orphanhood, relationship status, nationality, migration, difficulty in performing activities, economic characteristics, information communication technology, household characteristics such as sanitation, etc. Special needs guides will be available to take data from special needs citizens. Everyone present in Nigeria at the time of enumeration will be counted. Nigerians living abroad will not be counted. In case of doubt, the respondent may ask the enumerator to read out to ascertain that the details are correctly entered. It is mandatory to answer all census questions. The 2023 Population and Housing Census will not collect data on religion and ethnicity. Census night is the night immediately before the first day of enumeration. It is the night set for the enumeration of some of the special population identified during building numbering and household listing. The 2023 Population and Housing Census is a green census and reduces greenhouse gas emissions and helps in combating climate change. A green census helps Nigeria to reduce its carbon footprint and saves thousands of trees from being destroyed to produce census materials. Of what importance is a population and housing census to Nigeria?
The country's inability to conduct a population census in the last 16 years has created an information vacuum, as the data from the last census conducted in 2006 has been rendered out of date for planning purposes. It has therefore become imperative for the nation to conduct another national census to produce a new set of demographic and socio-economic data that will provide the basis for national planning and sustainable development.
I urge government at all levels to provide the conducive environment for a credible census. In closing, Mr. President, implementing a transformative census that is transparent, credible, and of international standards will for sure be a substantial part of your legacy. A census that is for the benefit of all Nigerians, where everyone will be counted in the right place and leaving no one behind. On behalf of the UN team, again, I wish to congratulate you, and I wish the National Population Commission and the people of Nigeria a successful conduct of the census.
You will all agree with me that planning without credible data is a keen motion without progress, because no meaningful result will be achieved. I wish to congratulate the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for taking yet another great step in repositioning the country for optimum development by approving the conduct of the national census in 2023.
As part of efforts to deliver a credible and reliable census, the Commission is committed to ensuring that results of the census are acceptable to Nigerians and the quality of data to be generated meets international best standards for planning and developmental purposes. In line with the United Nations principles and recommendations for the 2023 rounds of censuses, the 2023 population census will be fully digital, and the Commission has deployed high-end technology to conduct the exercise and enhance data quality.
Data, it's everything. Statistics is everything. If you don't have data, you can't plan.
As part of preparations for the May 2023 Population and Housing Census, the enumeration area demarcation, which is the foundation for any census, was carried out nationwide from phases 1 to 18 between the years 2014 and 2022, a total of 9 years.
Enumeration area demarcation, which is also known as census mapping, is the demarcation of the whole country or an area into small areas that census functionaries can cover within the census period. Census mapping provides the baseline data for the census. For enumeration area demarcation, that is the first activity when you want to do a census. That is the first thing you have to undertake, because that will give you the data you will be needing for the main census. Without enumeration area demarcation, we will not be able to carry out a census.
How rich the National Population Commission is in data collection. You see, we have all the localities in this country, all over. We have them at our own fingertip.
Never in the history of the National Population Commission has the body been as prepared for census with all stakeholders involved. This is also the first time that for the big task ahead, stakeholders receive the highest number of trainings with quality as yardstick. Such is necessary to equip these functionaries for the exercise, because quality data is largely a function of quality staff and quality working tools. Ad hoc staff, members of the Population Association of Nigeria, the academia, former staff of the Commission, relevant staff of ministries, departments and agencies of government, non-governmental organizations, staff of the National Population Commission at all levels, and the Commission's leadership have all benefited from several training opportunities to enable them deliver to Nigeria a credible, reliable and acceptable census data that meets international standards.
Doing digital or technology or using technology to do this process is really very interesting. Recruitment done through digital method, not I know you, or just give your information. If you are qualified, you are selected, and that's how I came in.
Those principles and recommendations for the 20 round of censuses emphasize use of technology to improve data quality and also timeliness of delivery of the census results and the products therefore.
The success of the pre-census activities, which culminated in the trial census, is a testimony to the fact that the huge investments in men and material has not been in vain.
When the head is good, the tendency is for the body to follow. That is how to describe our chairman and the body of commissioners and members of staff of the commission and collaborating agencies that are here represented.
A retreat on the trial census was held in Abuja in August and was declared open by Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa.
I wish to appeal to all key stakeholders at the national, state and local government areas to extend maximum participation to the Commission in its noble goal of delivering accurate and reliable census to the nation. Making the 2023 census successful is a collective duty we owe to this great nation and to the benefits of present and future generations of Nigeria.
While commending past Nigerian governments for their support to the National Population Commission, the Muhammadu Buhari administration went a step further by demonstrating full political will, backed by funding for the exercise to hold. In readiness for the Population and Housing Census, the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning organized a high-level partners engagement to raise more funds to bridge the gap in funding for the Population and Housing Census.
So government has already demonstrated a high level of financial and political commitment to the census project in spite of the election cost and activities.
Census is expensive. It's a huge effort. It takes a lot of effort from the Ministry of Finance, for ministries, for the government of Nigeria.
Let's work together, let's support the government, let's support the National Population Commission and Finance Ministry to make sure that the process is adequately resourced so that we can get the right outcome.
Another arm of government, the judiciary, has constituted census tribunals to adjudicate on disputes that may arise.
You see, if a house does not know the population it fits, it will run into trouble. That is why your commission is so important.
In continuation of his advocacy visits and consultations towards a credible and acceptable census this year, the leadership of the National Population Commission were at the Nigerian Air Force headquarters in Abuja. It was mission accomplished. The wish of the National Population Commission to conclude the enumeration area demarcation in 2 local governments in Borno and Kaduna states to complete the exercise 100% in all the 774 local governments was recently granted during a visit to the Chief of Army Staff in Abuja. The federal government has again demonstrated its commitment towards a successful, reliable and acceptable census with the inauguration of a National Security and Logistics Committee.
I am pleased to formally welcome you all to this very important occasion of the inauguration of the National Census, Security and Logistics Committee for the 2023 Population and Housing Census. Now, the overarching need to provide the nation with accurate and reliable demographic data for policy formulation and planning for sustainable development cannot be overemphasized. It is in the light of this and the desire to bequeath an enduring legacy of evidence-based planning for sustainable development that the conduct of the 2023 Population and Housing Census is of utmost priority to the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari.
You must know your population, then before you can be able to adequately plan for the development of the country. And that seems to be what is lacking, because you are going to give us a credible census.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps says it will do everything possible to collaborate with the National Population Commission in all its activities, especially the forthcoming population and housing census. Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, gave the commitment when the leadership of the National Population Commission visited NSCDC headquarters in Soka along Airport Road, Abuja. In all the activities of the Commission, the traditional institution which is closest to people at the grassroots has remained a veritable pillar of support to the body in readiness for census.
The job given to the Commission is very important for our country, because unless we know how many we are in this country, it will be very, very difficult for us to plan.
So that is the reason why we're calling on people to come out en masse to embrace this, so that at least the exercise will be successful. And with that, the government will have accurate data, for planning.
God will assist you, so that by the time General Buhari leaves office, apart from the infrastructural development that he has brought this country, your own acceptable census, accepted by all Nigerians, will be what you are going to add to his successes.
In April 2023, the 56th session of the United Nations Commission on Population and Development focused on population education and sustainable development, with the chairman of the National Population Commission addressing delegates in New York. Of all the development partners, the United Nations Population Fund stands out in its commitment towards achieving the best population and housing census.
It's been said by many of you, Nigeria needs evidence. We need to know, what does this great country look like? We need to understand that everyone counts. We need to understand that if we don't know that, we will continue to make a lot of hit and possibly a lot of miss in our decision making.
The Census Department works around the clock in shifts for goal attainment.
Census night is the night immediately before enumeration commence, and in most cases we take the 12 midnight of the census of the day of census to be the day before census to be the census moment, and the whole of the night we celebrate the census night. And the significance of this is just to create the awareness in the people too that census is coming. The census night marks the starting point of enumeration. Then one significance of census night again is the fact that this night is when we also go out to enumerate persons that do not have roof over their head.
The country should be patient and see what comes out of it. I beat my chest to say that this would be, not probably, this would be the most credible census we've ever had in this country. Yes, a lot of insinuations as to insecurity becoming a hindrance. The Commission has, for the first time, what we need to have from our EAD experience. And that information was gotten in the course of our involvement in the demarcation exercises across the country, even in the face of this glaring insecurity. If we didn't have major challenges within those periods, I don't see how insecurity will be a hindrance to this. Like I said, the census taking itself is just 5 days. And it wouldn't pose as much a problem as people have been expressing. Everybody should be patient and cooperate with the functionaries on ground so that we have something to work with. And I also say that the media should also cooperate a whole lot with the Commission.
A census situation room was unveiled in May 2022 under the direct supervision of the census manager, Dr. Inua Jalingo, and Chairman ICT Committee, Dr. Clifford Zira, whose quest for quality was on display in line with the decision and vision of the Commission's top management.
Take a try.
Thank you for calling the National Population Commission call center. You count. Be counted.
Hello?
It's still not been picked up.
Hello? You're on to National Population Commission call center?
Every call that comes in is either attended to by the call center operators,
If it is a call that will be referred to the chairman for response, it will be referred to the chairman in his office for him to respond. If it is a call that the director of census need to attend to, it will be referred to her to attend to it. So the call center leverages on the 60 channels.
This special dashboard is going to monitor activities pre-field, during the field work, and post-field work. And the idea behind the dashboard is to monitor real-time every activity of the enumerators before the field work starts. And that means that we are going to be assigning enumeration areas to enumerators, and as we assign and we profile them, the dashboard will tell us whether we have covered all the enumeration areas in the country, so much that we are sure that every enumeration area in the country has an enumerator that is going to conduct enumeration therein. And by the time we move into the field, the dashboard will monitor the progress of work.
Presentation made today, the documentation in our hands, there is no doubt that they have shown the capacity to conduct this exercise.
We need to sensitize our people so that they come out en masse to register their name, so that our population will not be shallow. If we refuse to register, it will reduce our population, so that as we do the registration, if we reduce our population, we will now lack from the federal government. But if people come out en masse, they will know this community is not a small community again, that it will facilitate more development to our people.
All the 36 states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory are ready for the population and housing census.
I can tell you that Lagos is ready for census, and I can also tell you that the Southwest is ready.
In the Northeast, we are very, very set for the head count.
We've tested all our instruments, we've tested all our methodologies, and basically the South is ready now to go into the main census. Like you are aware, some non-sensitive materials have started being distributed to the states. I know a lot of us have received the initial non-sensitive material. So we are looking forward to commencing the main census anytime from now.
We've done a lot of preparations. We've done a lot of, we've followed our programs, the census programs, diligently, copiously. And we're itching towards the final lap of the census process, which is the enumeration proper.
Census will involve everybody. Everybody will be counted.
We are also very grateful to all the local government chairmen. They are very cooperative. They have given our staff all the necessary support and assistance in terms of logistics and transport.
There is no need for people to move to be counted in their either local government or their hometowns. Stay where you are and earn your living and be counted there. The system we have is such that if we want to run down the number of people in a particular local government, or particular state, or particular town, we can do it even if you are counted in a different location. So save yourself the trouble of traveling from where you live to your local government or hometown.
The Public Affairs Department has remained in the forefront of leading the campaign for a credible and acceptable census by disseminating correct and timely messages to all residents of Nigeria to contribute towards a good outing and for people to present themselves for enumeration. In readiness for census were media engagements, town hall meetings, roadshows and many others, with the National Publicity Committee taking up the catchphrase, "You count, be counted."
I wish to assure the Commission of the readiness of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture to support the publicity campaign for the census using all the existing structures and facilities.
There are buildings where there's only one household, and there are other buildings where there can be as many as 10 households. In every building, we shall indicate how many households are there. What's the importance and significance of this is that for this census, for every Nigerian that is enumerated, we shall locate them within a building. This is also an innovation of this census.
this census is of great significance and importance, not just to Nigeria, but to the international community.
So we are using this opportunity to sensitize Nigerians that the census will be conducted, and to also assure them that this census will be digital and transformative.